Phil, can you hear me and see me okay? You're muted.
Do we have to do a roll call vote for every action on the TCC side?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, tell me about it. That's why I want to get a hold of it up front.
I thought that was just the electeds.
No, every House Bill 704 it's got us, man. So
Do we have to do individual votes or could we do one vote for the 4 action items?
you know, I guess in retrospect, if there was hold on a second. I don't know who this is. I guess this is Ted Silver. Yeah, I got to do roll call on all the votes, Phil. So
Yeah, I think we could lump them together, but I think you have to put it in a consent agenda format.
yeah, probably should have done. I'm learning. So
Hopefully this will be the last time we do this.
hope so. Would you be willing to make a phone call?
Yeah.
783-8438. They're asking if they can make a comment. I'm assuming it's Ted Silver. Make a comment at the TCC and the TAC.
783-8438.
Yeah, just let them know. I'm sorry.
Is it 828 area code?
Just say, David got your text. I'm calling you. Just tell him he needs to just register for the meeting. I've sent him the links over and over.
Okay.
Wondering if there's a way.
So when he registers, it automatically generates. You don't have to do anything.
Well, no, it should send him a link to click in onto to enter the meeting. You know, I had sent him this stuff many times already, but I don't know what's going on.
I'll call him right now.
Appreciate it.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Philip. How are you?
Philip's good. How's David?
Doing well.
How's Phil True?
He's doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
You get an earful yesterday about the ARP funds?
How about I've got a folder on my desk and trying to just, I don't know. I think it's better just to wait to see what the final guidance is and then start making your plans. I mean,
Yeah. I like how they let it off with there's 150 pages of guidance, but you don't have to worry about the first 120.
there you go.
That's the
So,
kind of information I need.
yeah. And surely to goodness, there's not counties out there that are lowering their tax rate so they can spend this money. I mean,
Right.
they alluded to that, but who would do that?
Right.
You know, I mean, all these people are.
You muted.
Yeah, until we hear what we can do and it's on paper, we're not making any plans
Gotcha.
for that money, you know?
Yep.
And then I'd love to have a meeting with you guys and hear from the other counties and see what, you know, just to get some ideas. You know, this needs to change things for a long time. But then they kind of wanted to tie it back to the pandemic, which is, you know, you're going, not sure how that part of it's going to work.
Right. Yeah, we can definitely organize something between the managers.
Yeah, it's you know, like, you know, Tim Greenspan, you know, he typed in, can I build a sheriff's office? You know, I think they pretty much said no, but they're not sure. So,
Right.
all right, good to see you.
Rachel Deal is coming in. That's wonderful. Hadn't seen her in forever.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Here you go, Rachel.
Morning, Bradley.
Good morning.
Y'all good?
Doing good. Just paying attention to the folks coming in, trying to click on them in time here.
Yeah, I about forgot to register. I had it on my calendar, but I started looking for the link. And I said, Lord, I forgot to register.
You're not alone, Brantley. It's happens a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Miss Rachel.
Hey,
How are you?
how are you?
Doing well.
Good, good.
Hey, Phil, you're my technical support today. Can you see where people are like can be admitted? Like if you hover over participants?
I get a message pops up and I've just been admitting them.
Okay, perfect. Here comes the chairman. We want to make sure he's admitted.
Now he's live.
All right, chairman's live. Wonderful. Hello, chairman. How are you today? Good.
Good morning, David.
Thumbs up.
Good morning, David.
Good morning. There's
How are
David
you?
Jackson and David Graham. I'm not sure what David we're saying good morning to.
I'm saying good morning to David Graham.
Okay. Good morning, Stephen Sparks. It's hard to read voices on Zoom, but I eventually got you, Stephen. All right, it's right at 10 o'clock. We got a good crew so far. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. And inevitably, there'll be some people that'll join after the typical Zoom grace period. Here comes Linda Cheek.
Looks like 20 so far.
Phil, you're doing a great job admitting people. Right as I try to do it, they're in. Anna Cook. Ed Evans. For those folks just joining, we're giving it a few minutes. Let others have the opportunity to log in. There's one. Oh, Phil got him. Christy Jones. Okay, it's about 3 after 10. Phil, just keep an eye on other folks and admit them as you see fit. So thank you all for making it this morning. In an effort to make this meeting go as efficiently as possible, I'm going to do roll call using the roster that I have here. Reason being is there's quite a few action items, 4 of them to be exact. And so I don't want to get caught up in the back and forth. Did I call your name? Did I not? Who's here? Who's not? So on and so forth. So with that, I'm going to do roll call and just say here if you're here. And that way I can mark you down. And when I start doing votes, I'll just use that list to do the votes. So here we go. Phil True.
Here.
Mike Pettyjohn or anyone from Division 11.
This is Sean. I'm here.
Okay, Sean, let me write you in here. Okay, McCrae Coates or anyone from Division 13.
Hannah Cook, I'm here, David.
Okay,
Chris Medlin.
okay. Since Hannah answered first, I'm going to use her when it comes to votes. So lucky you, Hannah.
So Caleb's working on the portal. He has to do a video,
Pam Cook,
Here.
driver's license,
Michael Carter,
branch number, all this. Person.
Adam Stum. Adam Stum, I thought I saw him.
What, are you upgrading your phone?
Philip Barrier,
Here.
Tim Green,
Here.
Joe Furman,
Here.
John Yates, Lynn Austin, Ryan Wilmoth, Kathy Howell, Sandy Roten, Rick Owen,
Here.
okay, Rachel Deal,
Here.
Connie Gwynn, Anyone from Newland? Susan Phillips? Anyone from Bakersville? Darlene Butler?
I'm here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Darlene. Preston Yates?
Here.
Thank you, Preston. Kevin Rothrock? Please mute your mics if you don't mind, if you got a phone ringing. John Ward? Debbie Powers?
I'm here.
Okay. Thank you, Debbie. Wilson Hooper? Anyone from the town of Rhonda? Ken Noland? Heather Hockaday? Randy Steskel? Anyone from the National Park Service? Lisa Bottomley? Tiffany Boyer? Kitty Honeycutt? Amanda Roten? Kate Gavanis?
Here.
Thank you, Kate. Tammy Simmons, I believe you're here.
She sent a message, her microphone.
Okay, all right. Got her. Thank you, Tammy. Ann Winkleman. Sheila Blaylock.
Here.
Thank you, Sheila. Patty Jensen. Neil Weinbarger.
Here.
Thank you. Candace Cook. Charles Harden. David Jackson's here. Craig Hughes. Linda Cheek.
Here.
Thank you, Linda. Michael Johnson. Michael Harris.
Here.
Christy Jones. And
Here.
Brantley Price.
Here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wonderful. We got a quorum. Okay. Thank you all for your patience, Chairman. You are welcome to call the meeting to order. And I think the first action item we have is approval of the February 17th minutes.
Excellent. Well, let us do just that. We can officially be called to order and we can move right into the approval of the minutes from the February 17th meeting. So all of that information in the packet. Do we hear a motion to approve said minutes?
This is Brantley. I'll make that motion to approve the minutes.
Brantley, you are beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you,
Rachel.
Ms. Thank you, Rachel. David Graham, you may proceed with your roll call.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Chairman. All right, just yes or no for approval of the minutes. Phil True,
Yes.
Pam Cook,
Yes.
Philip Barrier,
Yes.
Tim Green,
Yes.
Joe Furman,
Yes.
Rick Owen,
Yes.
Darlene Butler,
Yes.
Preston Yates,
Yes.
Debbie Powers,
Yes.
Kate Gavanis,
Yes.
Tammy Simmons. I think she chats in. Sheila Blaylock,
Yes.
Neil Weinbarger.
Yes. Sorry.
That's okay. You're fine. David Jackson,
Yes.
Linda Cheek,
Yes.
Michael Harris,
Yes.
Christy Jones.
Yes.
All right, we're on a roll here. Okay, Chairman, the next item we have for action is a resolution of support, and forgive me, y'all. Let me pull up the agenda here. A lot of moving parts. All right, can everybody see that okay?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so the next item is the resolution of support for the town of Burnsville bicycle and pedestrian planning grant. And so I'll go to that resolution real quick. So town of Burnsville is interested in applying for this to basically improve their bicycle and pedestrian network. And just to give you all a little bit of a background here, the Bicycle and Pedestrian Planning Grant Initiative is a matching grant program that encourages municipalities to develop comprehensive bicycle plans and pedestrian plans. The Integrated Mobility Division with NCDOT and the Transportation Planning Division sponsor this grant. So the town of Burnsville was interested. I've already started work on this application. This application is due by the end of June. And so one of the requirements is to have either your MPO or RPO pass a resolution of support for submitting the application. So Chairman, I'd be glad to get a vote on that if I could.
All right, is there any discussion before we call for a vote? Otherwise, we can, we would gladly, do we need to go through the process of motion and second before we do that, or is this just a straight vote?
Motion and second, please.
Okay, all right, so if we can
Philip
get
will make a motion from Avery County.
I'll second it, Joe.
Thank you, Philip.
Thank you,
Thank you,
gentlemen.
Joe.
all right,
Here we go again. You ready? Yes or no? Phil True,
Yes.
Pam Cook,
Yes.
Tim Green,
Yes.
Rick Owen,
Yes.
Rachel Deal,
Yes.
Darlene Butler,
Yes.
Preston Yates,
Yes.
Debbie Powers,
Yes.
Kate Gavanis,
Yes.
Tammy Simmons, Sheila Blaylock,
Yes.
Neil Weinbarger,
Yes.
David Jackson,
yes,
Linda Cheek,
Yes.
Michael Harris,
Yes.
Christy Jones,
Yes.
Brantley Price.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Hey,
All
David.
right.
David, I
Yeah.
think we're missing Adam Stum, Sean Sizemore, and Hannah Cook on those votes.
Okay. Thanks for catching that. Sean, did you have a vote on that?
Yes.
Thank you. And Hannah?
In
How
chat,
about
she
Adam?
said yes.
Adam Stum?
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. Thank you, Phil. You're doing great. All right. So we will move on to the next action item, approval of the fiscal year 21-22 RPO planning work program. And so you can see that up here on your screen, or if you have it in your packets. And let me zoom in. Well, can you all see that okay? Or do you need me to zoom in?
yes, I think
Yes.
Okay, good enough. Very good. So I'll just kind of give you an overview. Do this obviously every fiscal year. There really hasn't been much change from the previous year to this one. So, but I'll go over it, and if there's any questions that y'all have, please let me know. And so under data collection and assessment, we have $8,000 allocated for that. Comprehensive transportation plan development, we've got 31,000 for that. And just Adam, I'm glad that you're on the meeting today. you'll see there, begin Ashe County CTP. So we're going to be knocking at your door sometime in the future. Under prioritization, we've got 21,000 for that. And under program and project development, hold on a second. Someone's wanting in. Thank you, Phil. Okay, under program and project development, $5,000 for that. General transportation planning, $14,500 there. Administrative activities, $20,957 to be exact on that one. And then under direct costs, programmatic direct charges, $100, advertising, $100, lodging, meals, incidentals, $1,200 there. Postage, $50, registration and trading, $200, travel, $1,200, and indirect costs that are approved by the Cognizant Agency for this fiscal year, $56,256 for a grand total of $159,563. I'd be happy to answer any questions that any of the RPO members have. If not, a motion would be great, Chairman.
Do we have any questions? All right. Well, hearing none, we can move into a motion to approve the budget as presented.
Move to approve.
Brantley will second.
Okay, who was the first vote?
It was Rick.
Okay, thank you, Rick.
All right. Mr. Graham, you can proceed with your roll call.
Thank you very much. Okay, try not to miss anybody this time. Phil True,
Yes.
Sean Sizemore,
Yes.
Anna Cook,
Yes.
Pam Cook,
Yes.
Adam Stum,
Yes.
Philip Barrier,
Yes.
Tim Green,
Yes.
Joe Furman,
Yes.
Rick Owen,
Yes.
Rachel Deal,
Yes.
Darlene Butler,
Yes.
Preston Yates,
Yes.
Debbie Powers,
Yes.
Kate Gavanis,
Yes.
Tammy Simmons, you got Tammy, Sheila Blaylock,
Yes.
Neil Weinbarger,
Yes.
David Jackson,
Yes.
Linda Cheek,
Yes.
Michael Harris,
Yes.
Christy Jones,
Yes.
and Brantley Price.
Yes.
Thank you all. Okay. I am going to keep on rolling. Y'all are doing great. I know it's a little painful to do roll call, but you know, the law is the law and I have to follow the law. So the next item we've got is the approval of the High Country RPO Prioritization 6.0 methodology. And y'all should see this memo in your packets. I've got it pulled up on the screen here, but you know, in August, the TCC approved the formation of a Prioritization 6.0 or P 6.0 subcommittee to update our process for scoring and ranking and allocating local points for transportation projects for consideration in the 2023-2032 State Transportation Improvement Program. And I really appreciate Joe, Ken, Stefan, Rob, and Phil for volunteering to be on that subcommittee. You can also see on the last bullet point, I volunteered myself to be on there as well. We met in December and January and made relatively minor updates in my opinion. You know, our previous methodology had, you know, a lot of criteria that the prioritization office with NCDOT already crunches the data for. So the intent this round was to really focus on the priorities of our local governments and the overall score of the transportation project that comes from the prioritization office, which I feel is going to give us the best chance to capture as many projects as possible, because there's not much funding out there currently to go around for the prioritization cycle. So we're just doing our best to capture what we have. And so hopefully this memo, and you can see, I've kind of identified the 6 changes that we made to it. And I'll kind of tie in that each one of these numbers here correlate with the following methodology document that I have. I do want to point out that the methodology was made available for public comment during the month of April. And I wanted the TCC to know that I have not received any comments on that. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. And so I'll kind of just go through, the first, tell you what, let me just go to the methodology itself, and if I have to bounce back to this, I will do that. But DOT allocated 1,500 points for regional and division projects. Had allocated 1,400 last cycle, so we got an extra 100 points to divvy out. So that's what that change is under our local point assignment process. And let me just keep cruising on down here to the next change. And so under the highway regional impact projects, let's see, number 2, local priority is 20. If it's your number 1 priority, you get 20 points for it. If it's a project that is identified in a locally adopted plan, you get 5. And if it's already scheduled in the State Transportation Improvement Program but needs to be reprioritized, you get 5 points. And so, the main thing here is that we are placing most of the emphasis on the spot score. So the higher the spot score is, the better the chance of the project getting in the State Transportation Improvement Program. And so if you have that, and then you have local governments submitting their top projects as their priorities, you can see this will build on that score and give it a better chance to get scheduled in the steps. So that's what that is for the regional. And then the same thing is appropriate with the division needs projects. And we'll keep on going down here. And so for bicycle and pedestrian, whoops, getting a little sensitive on that mouse pad there. Again, we reduced some of the scoring criteria with emphasis again on the spot score and local priority. Once again, similar to the highway projects, the spot office is already crunching numbers on safety and connectivity and things of that nature. So that's the main change with the bicycle and pedestrian projects. The steering committee, the methodology committee, for number 4, felt that having project connectivity criteria, where the project provides connection to existing bicycle and pedestrian facilities, would be good to help for local scoring. And so from a local standpoint, you can receive up to 20 points if that is the case. In addition, they felt that keeping the right-of-way status criteria is good. So if you have right-of-way acquired for your bicycle pedestrian project, you get 10 points. If you don't have any, you don't get any points. And just to touch on that, a comment about that, it's hard for NCDOT to schedule projects in the State Transportation Improvement Program when there's a lot of uncertainty or unknowns regarding the right-of-way acquisition component. Let's see here. keep going down. Aviation projects, we kept them the same. Emphasis on the spot score and local priority. Same with transit. Emphasis on the spot score and local priority. And then at the very bottom, we have a flexibility provision, and the prioritization office is okay with this, and actually for this round allowed for us to do a flex policy, which would enable us to transfer 500 points between regional impact projects and division needs projects. And so I will work closely with our corridor development engineers and planning engineers to find out the best projects. If this is something that we feel we need to do, I will let you know about it. Again, with the intent of trying to capture as many projects as we can with limited funding availability. That's unfortunately the story for the prioritization 6.0 cycle. So I'm going to stop rambling. Be happy to answer any questions that you have at this time. Otherwise, Chairman could use a recommendation of approval to the TAC for this, if there are no questions.
Anybody have any questions? All right. Well, hearing none, we can move forward with the recommendation of approval and forward to the TAC as you requested. David, do we hear a motion and a second for that?
Philip will make the motion.
I'll second it. Rachel.
Thank you, Philip and Rachel. David, you can proceed.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. All right, yes or no for that motion? Phil True,
Yes.
Sean Sizemore,
Yes.
Anna Cook,
Yes.
Pam Cook,
Yes.
Adam Stum,
Yes.
Philip Barrier,
Yes.
Tim Green,
Yes.
Joe Furman,
Yes.
Rick Owen,
Yes.
Rachel Deal,
Yes.
Darlene Butler,
Yes.
Preston Yates,
Yes.
Debbie Powers,
Yes.
Kate Gavanis,
Yes.
Tammy Simmons, got you, Sheila Blaylock,
Yes.
Neil Weinbarger,
Yes.
David Jackson,
Yes.
Linda Cheek,
Yes.
Michael Harris,
Yes.
Christy Jones,
Yes.
and Brantley Price.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you all. Okay, let me keep on moving through the agenda here. So you all should give yourself a pat on the back, round of applause, a fist bump, whatever. We're done with the roll call. So I appreciate that. You
We
did
need to
great.
approve that, David.
Well,
We can
yeah,
vote on being done with it.
right. Have a celebration, something like that. Let me see if I can get this. Okay, here we go.
We'll be celebrating next meeting with donut holes and juice at our office.
Hope so. That'd be nice. I'm sure folks are getting tired of this. So kind of dovetail on the methodology. So here's just a brief update for you all for prioritization 6.0. The NCDOT spot office is currently in the process of scoring all projects in the state for this current cycle. The review period of all project data and costs for scoring is scheduled for April 1 through May 31st. And I have already been able to do that and have sent my comments back to the prioritization office. And Stefan, I believe you've already done that as well for Division 13, so I appreciate that. Programming of statewide mobility projects by spot is scheduled for the month of August. And so following that, that's when we get those scores. That's what we're going after, is what are these things, how are they scoring? And so once I get that information, you'll see the last bullet there. I will then take that information, which is important to you guys to have, so you know if your project even has a chance, and that is to solicit those priority ranked projects from y'all in early September. That is my hope. The last bullet point here is that the Piece 6.0 schedule is subject to change. Just like anything else that we've had to deal with the past year and a half. But my conversations with them is that just use it as it is now, and that's what this update is based on, and just wanted to share that with you all at this time. Any questions or comments on that? Okay, Chairman, I'm just going to keep on plowing through if that's all right.
Keep on rolling there, Captain. Disclaimer,
Good.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Alrighty here. So, let's see if my packet's acting a little weird here. Let me see. Oh, that's fine. All right, so this is the project development update. Let's see if it is capturing everything I need here. Bear with me a second. Okay, well, it seems like I might be missing a page for some reason. Yeah, so you get page 2. There really isn't much on page 1, so that's pretty good. So we'll just start off on page 2 here. These PDFs, when you like scan stuff and try to get it all built, and sometimes stuff it goes missing. So nonetheless, the first highlighted project I had was basically what the first one you're seeing there, and that's R2566B, specifically R2566BA, and we're all familiar with this as improvements to NC 105. And recently, I found out that the bridge project has been accelerated from 2023 to 2022. Yeah, hey, thanks, Phil. Phil's all over the place here helping me out. Yeah, that was page 1, didn't have anything on that. So I will keep going on the next project I felt is important for y'all to know about, and that's the bottom of page 2. This project gets asked about a lot. Bamboo Road, Wilson Ridge Road, from US 421 to Deerfield Road. So that project is still in the STIP, and right-of-way 2022 and construction 2024 on that one. And if y'all see a project that you want to ask a question about, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on going through here, kind of hit on the hot button projects. And so let's see. Yes, US 421 or U5312, the Super Street project in Wilkes County or in Wilkesboro. Right-of-way is in progress now on that project, and construction is scheduled for 2023. And I believe that is about it. For the most part, the STIP is remaining pretty firm until DOT cash flow issues improve more. But there's, we've got the Yancey County Transit Facility project for public transit projects in there. And you can see for yourself the bicycle and pedestrian projects. There really hasn't been any movement regarding the schedule for those projects. So that's all I have on the project development update, Chairman. And I guess we can move on to the next, which would be the public transit update. And do I have anybody on the line from a local public transit agency which would be willing to share some information with the group today. Would love to hear from you guys. I know you've been busy.
I know Craig Hughes joined also.
Okay. Craig, and I know Sheila, seemed like you were working on something. Not to put you on the spot, but you.
Yeah, we have applied for a RTAP grant to start a fixed route in Spruce.
That's right. Right. That's right.
And we will know if we've received that grant or not in June.
Wonderful.
16th, we should know if we've received that. It was for $100,000 to do a fixed route from 6 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday. And want to say I thank David and his staff crew. Every time I reached out and asked for something, they got it to me and developed me a route map that looked fantastic. And I just appreciate all of your help.
Well, thank you, Sheila. That's awful nice of you to say that. And this is the first potential fixed route for Mitchell County Transportation. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And it will
That's
be
awesome.
a deviated fixed route at that. Not sure I want to do the fixed route because all the ADA compliance that you have to do. So we're going to try a deviated fixed route and hopefully we'll get the money and this thing will be popular.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, Sheila. I appreciate it.
Can I share what all of 5 regional transit systems are working on?
Absolutely.
We are working on our Northwestern Regional Rodeo. Of course, we didn't get to have one in 2020. So we have Avery, Mitchell, Yancey, Madison, and McDowell County will be joining us this year. And we're going to have our regional rodeo July the 30th at the West Burnsville Baptist Church. And it's a huge deal for us, a lot of work and a good full day of training. And we're excited and we're going to have some big cash prizes this year. Each year our cash prizes grow a little bit. And so we're going to be able to offer some good cash money this year. So we're excited.
Well, that ought to bring people out, I'd say.
And we hope.
Nothing like money and food.
What are the competitive events?
Oh, goodness. Don't put me on the spot like that, Phil. We're going to have, of course, defensive driving. There's Michael and Tammy, you can jump in, help me here. We'll have like right hand back, serpentine, like a passenger stop, left hand back maybe. But there's defensive driving. We will have vendors there this year. We're going to have the vendors that sell us our vehicles. There's going to be Interstate and Ilderton and Creative there. David Grant that does our lift maintenance, he's going to be there. He and Chris Yarber from Creative are going to be doing lift and wheelchair securement training. We have car seat training. A health department, Toe River Health Department will be there doing vision checks, blood pressure, offering hepatitis shots, COVID vaccine. It's a big day. It's big this year. Every year it grows a little bit. So we're excited.
Good. Thank you, Sheila.
Thanks.
Okay, any other transit agencies have anything to say? Okay, not hearing anything. Chairman, I'll just keep on going through the agenda here if you're all right with that. Division Engineers Report, NCDOT Division 11. Sean, you have anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, did you get that word I sent you yesterday about the project?
you can just mention it verbally here if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to comprise a sheet listing all the projects underdeveloped in the High Country RPO. And it turned out to be a huge list. I didn't realize how many projects were under development. But under construction. Most of them are resurfacing, lots and lots of resurfacing AST projects that have not even been started, hundreds of miles. But if anybody wants that sheet, you can email me and I can send it to them. But what you can do, if in your county, you can put the project number in Google and look for DOT Connect plans, and it will show you all the roads in your county that are going to be paved this year or next year. COVID and funding, of course, has got us behind, but I thought that was pretty neat for everybody. You could go straight to Google and see what roads in your county are going to be paved this year. But other than that, next meeting, I'll try to have a bridge sheet that tells you the bridges that are under construction and so forth. That's all I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Any questions for Sean? Okay, not hearing any. Update from Division 13 representative.
Thanks, David. This is Hannah. I think your section, your project development updates covered the 2 STI projects in Mitchell County and their schedules, but I did want to mention we do have a safety project to install guardrail on NC 197 in Yancey County from Toe River Road to the Mitchell County line near Green Mountain. And that project is scheduled to let in November of this year. And then there is another bridge project that's under development in Mitchell County that will be letting at the end of this year as well. As far as construction, mostly for Mitchell and Yancey County, it's primarily resurfacing activities that are going on right now. Similar to Division 11, we have several resurfacing contracts that have been let and awarded, and very little progress has been made. But they do all have completion dates of December of next year, 2022. And those are just various secondary routes. A couple of the primary routes you might see resurfacing on is US 19 in Yancey County, NC 226 in Mitchell and Yancey, and US 19 East in Mitchell and Yancey also. But again, it's the only thing on the list is resurfacing for Mitchell and Yancey County. And that's really all I have, unless anybody has any questions for me for Division 13.
All right, not hearing any, Hannah. I appreciate the update. Okay, next on the agenda, Pam, I've got your newsletter here, so I'll pull it up if you're ready to go.
I am ready, and I think this letter's been sent out to everybody too, so I won't linger on it. I'll just kind of touch on the highlights. There is one change. The first thing saying traffic forecast, that there were none in the area, and at the time I did the newsletter, there wasn't. But I got an email yesterday saying that a traffic forecast has been started for R5911, that project in Avery County, adding a turn lane on 19 east to 194. So there is that one traffic forecast. Yancey County Comprehensive Transportation Plan, we are wrapping things up. We had our last steering committee meeting at the first week in May. We had completed our public survey on the draft recommendations. The committee reviewed those. I am doing the final update of the documentation and maps to be sent to local officials for adoption consideration. And then a contract has been awarded to replace 3 bridges in Allegheny and Wilkes County. They're listed in the newsletter. The second paragraph has their locations if interested. And the Federal Highway News, I put links to several tools for looking at bicycle considerations, because the month of May is Bicycle and Motorcycle Awareness Month in North Carolina, and also on a federal level. So I just thought that would along to give you some resources. And on the second page, I have information that NCDOT has done a study to look at accidents, deaths along caused by people walking on train tracks, and hoping to eliminate those deaths. And they'll be studying the data from this research to see what else they can do. We continue with our using drones for bridge inspections in North Carolina. We're one of the nation leaders in that. And then I did put the information on the National Bike and Motorcycle Safety Month. Many of y'all are having the Bike to School Day this month, and there's even a Bike to Work Day next week. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Pam. That was a great update. I appreciate it. Okay. Chairman, if you wanted to take the other items at the bottom here,
Be happy to.
we'll finish it off.
Yeah, moving into any committee member comments or other business at this point. If nobody has one, let me ask one. Phil kind of alluded to it a moment ago. What are the odds, or what has to happen for us to have the August 18th meeting in person based on all of the rollbacks to restrictions and things like that that we've seen?
Good question. Phil, did you want to chime in on that?
You know, I think it would take a future executive order from the governor to relax in-person inside meeting restrictions further.
Is there such an order based on what happened Friday? Or is that more of a state operations order versus a general public type thing?
I don't know the details of what the order said Friday.
Yeah, so Friday really eliminated everything. In terms of public gathering, there are no capacity restrictions that exist on anything currently. Businesses still have the ability to restrict things from a social distance perspective or require masks, things like that. But everything was fairly well rolled back on Friday. But we can dig into it a little bit further just to make sure that there's no carve out for state. There are about 6 categories that are listed that are still requiring face coverings or social distance, and those make sense. It's schools, hospitals, long-term care facilities, things along those lines. I don't remember seeing anything specifically about state-related function, but somebody else on the call may have seen that more specifically.
Well, FYI, all of Watauga County's official meetings now are required to be in person, no Zoom option.
Good information. Tell you
Well,
what,
I think what we'll do in July is just make sure Boone doesn't have any restrictions, and see
Boone
what
rolled
our,
theirs back last night.
right.
They're now in compliance. They eliminated their state of emergency last night, so they're in full compliance with the state now.
Good. So let me dovetail on that, David. How DOT officials who usually come to our meetings, where are you all? Or do you know at this point?
We're able to resume traveling and come as well. As far as we haven't set schedules for coming back into the office on a day-to-day basis, but we have gotten approval to travel.
Okay.
And so, speaking for myself, I could attend a meeting in person. I don't know if you were planning to keep the Zoom platform beyond the COVID world, or are you at some point, is the RPO planning to go 100% in person and lose the virtual platform option?
And that's a great question, Hannah. I anticipate in the future maybe a meeting or two where there's both, but then ultimately back to in person.
Okay.
David, this is Stefan. As
Yes,
far
Stefan.
as the STIP unit, we are allowed to travel now, but we have to get prior approval.
Okay.
if things keep going as they have been, as far as things getting rolled back, I would say by August, we're probably approved to just travel at our discretion.
Okay.
Well, and that leads perfectly into one of the reasons I asked that is August 18th feels like it's a long way away, but if people are trying to make plans to travel again, it might be helpful to kind of know what direction we're going, and also see from other folks that normally attend if they also have the same kind of freedom to be able to travel if they want to. So just might be something that we can work on between now and say the beginning of August.
Thanks
I will
for
say
bringing that up,
this.
Chairman.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah, just my concern is having a quorum, as y'all are aware of. I always like to have a quorum so I can have my meetings. And you know, each person's going to be different about their comfort level with this stuff. And so just to let you know, I am personally, you know, open to trying to make this happen. But obviously I'm going to have some discussions with Phil and other folks here to see how we can proceed with that. With keeping in mind people's comfort level with gathering indoors in groups and stuff.
We'll send some correspondence out to the committees to gauge everybody's comfort level beforehand, but we really will try to migrate to a not a hybrid version. Just the audio visual and record keeping logistics are just tough to do it that way.
Thanks for saying that, Phil. They are tough.
Well, the other problem also is that the open meetings law is dictating a lot of what Watauga County has said.
Yeah.
But under the open meetings law, there is no hybrid or virtual option other than under that emergency declaration, which is now kind of gone. So that's a big consideration, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Joe.
All right, any other discussion on this particular topic? Otherwise, we can just move into if there are any public comments.
Yeah, Chairman, I believe we have Ted Silver wanted to make some comments under public comment. Ted, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, wonderful. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Ted Silver. I live in Banner Elk. To introduce myself, I'm chairman of the Banner Elk Bicycle Pedestrian Committee. I'm also the program coordinator for the country's only academic bicycling minor degree program over here at Lees McRae. And I also am the president of Bike Walk NC, which is our statewide volunteer bicycle pedestrian advocacy organization. And as I sat in on this meeting, I do want to thank all of you for what you all do in terms of prioritizing and our transportation infrastructure. Many of you are probably trying to review your algebra course to try to figure out how to score things. As it was mentioned by Pam, today also happens to be the International Ride of Silence Day, which dovetails into Bike Month, and is to remember all those who've been killed or injured, which is an integral part of what you all do to create a safer active transportation environment. And I know that, like the Middle Fork Greenway Project has been on the ground and doing well. Two things I really wanted to kind of mention and bring out to y'all's attention. I know that right now there's a prohibition on using state funds to match federal aid for independent bicycle and pedestrian projects. Currently running around our legislature is House Bill 511, which is trying to put back the funding process that existed in 2013. So hopefully, as it crosses your radar, whatever support you may give, if it can't be an independent bill, if it gets attached, that would be grateful for all of our communities. And lastly, on the reprioritization and what y'all were discussing today, I just want to generally mention that especially when it came to connectivity and right-of-way acquisition, that many of our communities are so small that they may not score well on the criteria for connectivity. And I realize, and David's explained to me, that sometimes the committees can change some of the points or pick projects. I remind everybody, as the STI, we're known for division needs. It's interesting how they label them: statewide mobility, regional impact, and division needs. So as you all deliberate our projects, I just want to remind you that some places don't have a lot of visible connectivity to get points, but yet it can be a very important safety and active transportation improvement for the community, even if it ranks high on that one. So I just want to thank you for what you all do, and please give all those considerations. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted.
Any other public comments, David?
That was the only one that wanted to speak today. And just for your knowledge, Chairman, since there's no other business, when you adjourn the meeting, I don't have to do roll call. So that's great news.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Ted, for your comment. And unless there is anything else from any committee members, you can mute yourself, or you can leave yourself into adjournment. We can adjourn this meeting.
Wonderful. Thank you all very much for coming out today.
Thanks, everyone.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.